Final thoughts, yeah, from my research field. So my research field is neurophotonics, so to use light to measure brain activity. I think this is an interesting aspect, and it has a potential in the field of neuroscience and consciousness research to provide some interesting tools to provide some new answers. So I think neurophotonics is an interesting aspect, especially also the aspect that maybe there's really optical communication happening between neurons, because there's also light produced by cells, and if this light is somehow used in the circuits, then it has interesting properties. So this is definitely an interesting research question to follow up.
Sure. Yeah. Just to comment a little bit more on the relationship between consciousness and intelligence, I would just like to conclude by saying that the various forms of intelligence that one finds across the very, very complex animal kingdom and even in plants can be studied by making assumptions about their genetic components, the behaviors that are learned, and through many, many tasks that can be studied through attention. And this is important for the field of artificial intelligence, because even if machines cannot be conscious the way we are, if they learn how to attend to the environment the way animals do, they will be intelligent. I think behavior and success in various tasks is a critical aspect of intelligence. And I agree with Professor Gaviraghi that maybe the issue of consciousness is independent of this.
Well, yeah, final thought. Nuno, we're very grateful to you doing all the work to put this on. I'm very grateful because it's helpful every 6 months or so to hear some real scientists talk about the topics I think about. And so I'm thankful to all of you guys. Just end on a note of skepticism. It was kind of neat to see Captain Kirk go into space, but basically, you know, who cares? And that's kind of the way I feel about intelligent robots. Don't we have enough intelligent people crawling around a planet doing enough bad things already, plus enough unemployed people? So I'll end with that grouchy thought. We got enough consciousness. Let's just treat it nicer.
Just one last thing related to your last question, and I agree with John that yeah, we have a lot of consciousness, but not a lot of intelligence out there. I think this COVID crisis has definitely demonstrated that in spades. But anyways, yeah, I think one thing I forgot to mention is that if we would understand some of these these much smaller organisms, how they work, you know, if you look at computing today, it's still based on the von Neumann architecture. Okay, you have a storage location, a compute unit, storage program, all working on binary arithmetic is basically right. So it's still based on a binary architecture. Brains are not based on a binary architecture. They're based on some kind of architecture. We have no idea how it works.
Yeah, while listening to the other panelists, I kept it came out from behind of my head an idea and a question. We're talking about consciousness. We're talking about consciousness in spiders. We're talking about consciousness in living beings, substantially, right? So my question is, do virus has consciousness? Does COVID-19 has a consciousness? It seems that it does, because it's mutating. Every time we attack the virus, it has a mutation capabilities. So we can consider a virus like a living being, like a living organism. Does it have a consciousness? So we don't know, of course, but consider the possibility. Because if we start talking about consciousness, we start talking about something which we don't master. It's something we don't know much about. So every idea can come out, and you can consider the possibility that bacteria, microbes, viruses has a consciousness.